Yeah, we all know what that music is. Hooray for Hollywood. It's kind of a boring song. And with that, we welcome you into episode 157 of the Guru Talking Sports Podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports, and tonight's the night. Tonight is the 95th Academy Awards, and I got a chance to watch two of the most weirdest movies I've ever seen in my life. And I got some comments about Hollywood and all that stuff coming up a little bit later. What a week this was. This was one hell of a week. You got everything from football, basketball, baseball, let's I'm gonna just throw out there some things. Kevin Durant gets hurt in his first game in warm-ups before he goes out on his first game. Kyrie Irving is back in the news making his stupid comments and whatever, and we gotta say, excuse the expression, shut the fuck up just on that. And the Bears trade the number one pick in the draft. Lamar-Jackson gets franchise tagged, and some people are saying now that he's getting blackballed or censored because of the contract they gave Deshaun Watson. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much stuff that's going on. The Miami Dolphins did pick up the 5th-year option on Tua. A lot of coaches got fired in the NCAA. In NCAA basketball. I haven't even mentioned all the teams that are going to the big dance and the teams that I got a chance to watch a lot of college basketball yesterday. After I got home, I definitely watched as much as I could, and I'm really upset with UCLA, the way they played, and that's probably going to cost them a 1 seed. But it's all good. It's all good. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Also got an interview with my man Dave May Jr. We're talking about the new baseball changes and everything. I'm kind of wide awake, and I don't know why, but, last night was daylight savings time and spring forward, and I haven't felt the effects of it yet. Matter of fact, I got a chance. I dozed off and slept on the couch, only because I just got was watching that crazy movie Tar, and I ended up falling asleep right on the couch. Didn't move. Miss Guru just left me out there, but my little girl dog, like I told you, she's like right on me all the time. She slept with me, and she basically has, just like a little teddy bear. She just climbs up right, with me and all. And it's like I said, she's a baby. She's a baby, and she just loves to be around me, and I love her, and that's basically it. So, like I said, we got a lot to talk about. Jim Boeheim, and I call him Boeheim, but it's Boeheim. Jim Boeheim, I did get a chance to watch that on Thursday, and that was kind of bittersweet, because he said that he made his retirement speech a couple days earlier, and I don't know, that whole thing with Syracuse was kind of weird, to say the least. And, I like Syracuse, and Syracuse is, when they're good, college basketball is good. And speaking of people stepping down and getting fired or whatever, the guru is always right. And I hate to tell you this, but the guru's right again. One of those coaches got fired, and I did mention that a couple times. So I'll tell you what, let's play a little game here. All right, voice actress lady, give me my theme for everything that I always tell you guys.
And now, another reason why the guru is always right.
That's right. Thank you, voice actress lady. Appreciate you. And guess what? The voice actress lady knows, and everybody out there knows, that I told you guys that Emmanuel Quickley will be the next big thing. Last weekend, Emmanuel Quickley went off for a career high 39 points in a double overtime win as the New York Knicks down the Boston Celtics. That was one of the things I told you that was right. The other thing was that I told you that Patrick Ewing would no longer have a job, and me and my man Dave May was talking about it, and he said they gave him 3 years a little bit too long. Yes, they did. After the third year, I knew that this wasn't going to go right, but you can't hire alumni, or you can't hire, famous players or alumni. Some players, you might can, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way, Here's an example. Kevin Ollie. Kevin Ollie played for UConn, and UConn, he took UConn to the championship, and they won. First or second year there, but after a while, it turned from sugar to what. And so, like I said, you can't hire your alumni, just because they're famous and they have a big, big name and all like that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. All right. So, like I said, the guru's always right about that. And, like I told you guys before, and I kept mentioning it. I mentioned it like maybe a couple times. I said, hey, look, Patrick Ewing ain't gonna have a job pretty soon. They're gonna fire him. And what did they do? They fired him. Also, Mike Anderson is out at St. John's. Georgia Tech has fired Josh Posner. There's a couple other guys. Rick Stansbury retired, or from his job at, I think it was Western Kentucky. There's a couple other firings and stepping downs, as you might say, in college basketball. But like I said, the main thing right now we're talking about is the tournament. And the tournament is in full swing. Okay. I'm going to give you a rundown of all the teams that have made it in. And before I do that, I'm going to do this. Today, the Ivy League, the A-10, the SEC, the American, and the Big Ten will crown their champions, and we'll find out who the champions are of that league, those leagues. Now, today is Selection Sunday also. I just want to mention that. You got time change, Selection Sunday, you got all this stuff going on. We're going to be bracket out here in about let's say, about like 12 hours from now. Bracket out. And, we're going to find out who's dancing and who's staying at home. UCLA kind of pissed me off because, like I said, they should have that game won. They could have beat Arizona. Arizona beat them for the second straight year. They are the pseudo conference champs because guess what? UCLA won it outright, and then the tournament goes to Arizona. All right, so here's a rundown. Just give me 1 second. I had to take a swig, so I had to get myself right. Okay, here's a rundown of all the teams that are dancing right now. Let's go. I'm going to read these things in order as I got them. I know I'm not going to take 25 minutes reading these, but here we go. Fairleigh Dickinson, the NEC, Ohio Valley, Southeast Missouri State, Big South, UNC Asheville, and they are 27-7. I'm going to give you some of these with some of these impressive records, and we'll see how impressive they are when they go into the tournament. Missouri Valley, Drake. Don't really like him and his music. He's a jinx. Stay away from Drake. Anyway, Drake is 27-7. Drake always had bad luck betting on stuff. I hope he doesn't bet on the teams that we're going to bet on. Atlantic Sun, Kennesaw State, first time in the tournament, 26-8. Had a chance to listen to their coach a couple days ago. They're really good. As a matter of fact, they only won like one game last year. So a turnaround, big turnaround, big time turnaround for them. I'm gonna be rooting for them. Sunbelt, Louisiana Raging Cajuns, Southern Furman, Horizon, Northern Kentucky. All right, I can't even read my writing. That's how bad it is. CAA, the Charleston Cougars, and they're 31-3. That's a very impressive record. That's in the CAA. That's the same conference with Delaware, and we'll see what they do in the tournament. The West Coast, Gonzaga, 28-5. We know Gonzaga's story. They're always there. The Summit League, Oral Roberts, 30-4. Not bad. Southland, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Patriot League, Colgate, the toothpaste, right? Big Sky, Montana State. American East, Vermont, the Catamounts. MEAC, Howard. I saw that game and they beat Norfolk State. That was an impressive win by them. SWAC, the SWAC, Texas Southern. They're 14-20, and they made it in. And believe me, any team can make it. I mean, the only thing you got to do is, like in these smaller conferences, you got to win your tournament. All right, the Big 12 is Texas. Texas looked really good. They beat Kentucky. They beat Kansas. And Texas looks like a very, very good team going into the tournament. Hot at the right time. Mountain West, San Diego State. Big East, Marquette. Marquette has always had a great team. Shaka Smart had a really, really good season. And I'm not counting them out. MAC, Kent State. MAAC, Iona, 27-7. Iona's coached by what's his name? Can't think of his name right off. That messes me up when I can't think of people's name. I can't think of his name right now. It'll probably come to me a little bit later, and I'll mention it. But anyway, this coach is actually might be going to St. John's. Well, I'll remember his name pretty soon. Conference USA, Florida Atlantic, they're 31-3. Surprisingly, I told you, Florida Atlantic. I mentioned them a couple episodes back. I told you that's one of the teams you gotta look out for. ACC, Duke. We all know Duke's story. Big West, UC Santa Barbara. The Gauchos. If you know Jim Rome, that's his alma mater. They're pretty good. Pac-12, Arizona, like we mentioned. The WAC, Grand Canyon University, and like I mentioned before, the Ivy League, Atlantic 10, the SEC, American, and the Big Ten will crown their champions. So we'll find out who's in and who's not. And, like I mentioned before, I'm high on UCLA. They'll probably fall to a 2 seed. If I had to mention 1 seeds, I would think the 4 1 seeds will probably be Arizona, Houston, Alabama, and Purdue. And if I didn't mention Arizona might be on the outside looking in. But then again, there's another team out there that I can't think of right now. Guru forgets a lot of stuff, but I'm trying. And that team should be another number 1. We'll see what happens. But anyway, this is it. This is the cream of the crop right now. And like I said, I really like this time of the year because, hey, now that the lights are going to be on a little bit more in the summertime, maybe sometimes you never know. You might get a day where the lights might be on, or I'm talking about the sunlight. The sunlight might be on until, maybe 8:30 or so. And then, the weather's going to be getting hot. Basketball season, the tournament's starting. NIT is starting. Baseball season is starting. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, which is good, So, like I said, I wanted to mention the college. That was the college wrap. If I didn't mention it before, that's the college wrap. Anyway, so, like I said, I'm really excited about this time of the year. Plus, I got some good news from Caden Guru and Dante Guru, so I'm just all excited. Really good time of the year, and I'm glad to be with you guys with this, on this, what day is this? This is the 12th of March, Selection Sunday day, Oscar night, and, all right, like I said, I watched that, I watched everything, everywhere, all at once, and I'm still confused about what the hell was the title or what it was about this movie that everybody was talking about. I gotta admit, Michelle Yeoh is a great actress. I think, she won the SWAG or the SAG Award. SWAG. SWAG Award. Anyway, SWAG. The SAG Award for her performance in this movie. Jamie Lee Curtis was very different in this movie. I like Jamie Lee Curtis, but she was very different. And here I am talking about movies, which I shouldn't be right now. I know that movies were supposed to be a little bit later, but anyway, I did see Elvis. And I did see Top Gun Maverick. And those were my 2 favorite movies of last year. Now, like I said, this movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, was different. But I did kind of like, I basically made it through it. So, I still can't tell you what it's about. But anyway, Tar was good. Kind of different. Kind of dark, but like I said, it's just with that movie, I just couldn't figure that one out as well. Now, everybody was telling me to go see The Whale with Brandon Fraser. They say he might be a Oscar. He might win the Oscar for that. I haven't seen it because they said it's like very dark and very disturbing, and I don't need that in my life anyway. So, all right, so here we go. In the first, I talked about everything. I didn't talk about movies. I didn't talk about all that stuff. Anyway, we got some people we have to say goodbye to a little bit later. Police blotter, we got that. Poo-poo of the week, we got that. Excuse me, I had to write something right quick. I had to figure out who the poo-poo of the week is. Like I said, I got a conversation with my man Dave May Jr. I'm going to let you know now, right now, the sound quality might be a little distorted. I'm going to try to play as much as I can. And I apologize to Dave because, like I said, it took his time. And we basically had a great conversation. I want you guys to hear it. That's coming up a little bit on the second half. Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a break right here. I'm going to get some things straight. I'm going to go get me some more coffee because I know I got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'll come back with news and notes, and we'll get into that. And I'm so sick and tired of these two, Kyrie and, well, not more or less, I still like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant I still have very, very high respect for, but I'm still, you know, Kyrie, I got to talk about this fool again. He comes up all the time, and he makes me sick. Okay, anyway, we're going to go to the break right here. Remember, you're listening to episode 157 of the Guru Talking Sports podcast. I am the Guru, and I am fired up, and I am very much awake, you know what I mean. But anyway, I'm having a good time because, you know, this time change hasn't affected me yet. I know probably a little bit later on in the afternoon I'll probably doze off because, you know, then it'll start to hit me. But maybe, which is good thing. Good thing is I got to go in late tomorrow, and by the time I get back, it won't be dark. So, you know, hopefully if I get back around 6:30, 7 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, it'll be still light outside, and I'll maybe be able to drive home in the light. Because I've been, you know, like if I start late, which, you know, I love my company, I love my job, and, you know, when I start late, I usually get back, and it's, you know, if you're going in when it's dark and you're coming home when it's dark, now it's like I can go in when it's dark and come back home and still be light outside. It was like sunlight. Wow, that'll be really, really nice. I love the sunlight. Anyway, all right, so you guys hang tight. I'm going to go get some coffee, see what's going on in my household. And you guys, I really appreciate you being with me. Thank you for listening to episode 157 of the Guru Talking Sports podcast. Guru will be right back right after this. Voice actress lady, take us into our first break.
You're listening to the Guru Talking Sports podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Guru Talking Sports podcast, episode 157. Almost forgot who I am. Just went out to try to go grab a little bit of coffee and get I had to get a banana nut muffin. I love those. It's quiet out there. I mean, Guru's still asleep. Dogs are still asleep. That little girl, she's asleep. You know, I'm glad because usually her little butt, as soon as she hears me, she starts growling. She goes, and next thing you know, it's like always a growl. But it's funny because like I said, she follows me all over the place. And when I come home, when I'm on the road, she runs back here to this, you know, my studio office. And she always, you know, howls for me. And she's not, you know, used to, she should be used to me leaving because I'm, you know, at least gone at least once or twice a week. So, you know, but anyway, she's gone. She's asleep and she's okay. The name that I wanted to remember, I couldn't think of right off, was Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino for Iona is probably, they said he might be taking over the St. John's job over in Queens for Mike Anderson, who was fired by St. John's. I got a feeling. They did find a replacement for Jim Boeheim, and it was kind of sad because, I watched that game. I watched a little bit of the last game with Wake Forest and Syracuse. Wake Forest came down, hit a jumper, and Jim Boeheim was, kind of. He's always been snarly and snappy with the press, student press, and everything. He kind of reminds me of our old basketball coach at my high school. He, to this day, the guy doesn't like me. I mean, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to make it about, he likes me or don't like me or whatever. But my coach was named Mr. Duty, and he was more or less like Jim Boeheim in a sense. Coach Duty was always kind of like snarly and kind of, he wasn't really a friendly guy, but, it was just kind of cool because, I always tried to reach out to him and, stuff like that, but he's not friendly. He's not a friendly person. Some people are like that, but see, that's the thing. I like guys like Bobby Knight, who has that kind of like a little bit of arrogance, but, the thing about it is that he's a damn good coach. Jim Boeheim is a damn good coach, and I hate to see him go out like this, but, I think between the alumni and the school, a lot of people wanted to see him, kind of retire. He's been at Syracuse as long as I've been alive. And I'm not going to tell you my age, because some people know my age or whatever. But, the thing about it is that he played for the school, he coached the school, and, he won that one championship in 2003, which is, a couple weeks ago was his, he said that he retired on that speech, but he said nobody picked up on it. They retired some jerseys. Jerry McNamara came back. When I look at Syracuse basketball, I always think of Sherman Douglas, Jerry McNamara, Derek Coleman, Hakeem Herrick, my man Louis Orr. God rest his soul, Louis Orr. Louis Orr was great. I love Louis Orr. He was something. Louis Orr, number 4. That's what, he was a great player. Syracuse basketball, like I said, the Big East, when the Big East was the Big East, it was really good. You had Villanova, UConn, Georgetown, St. John's. I remember years ago watching St. John's play, in the NCAA tournament down in Long Beach, and I remember seeing Maryland. It was I can't remember all the teams, but I know it was Maryland and St. John's. I got a chance to see. I got a chance to see Walter Berry, Chris Mullin, Weddington, all those guys in person. And Maryland had Albert King, Buck Williams, that was a great team. That was great time watching those teams. But Syracuse is going to be, it's going to be different for Syracuse next year. But see, you got to remember one thing: all the old coaches are gone. All the old coaches, like Roy Williams and Coach K, D. Smith, Jay Wright, Raleigh Massimino, Lou Carnesecca, all those coaches are gone. All Pete Carrill. I remember, Pete Carrill. some of them have passed on and are no longer with us, but some of them are gone. I mean, most of them are gone. The only people that are there now is Bill Self and Tom Izzo is still there. Jim Larinaga down in Miami is still there. But the thing is that the icon coaches, like Jim Calhoun. Remember Jim Calhoun, UConn? He's gone. All these coaches are gone now. I remember when I was growing up, you had so many guys, so many great Hall of Fame coaches. Jerry Tartanian. Remember him? Tark the Stark. Used to bite the towel all the time. All those guys, they're gone. I'm not sure, and a lot of people say, well, was it NIL or whatever? No, I don't know. But, I guess the coaches can't coach the way they want to coach now. And going back to Jim Boeheim is probably like one of the last of the Mohegans, other than, like I mentioned, Larinaga and Tom Izzo, Bill Self. All these other coaches are, all the good coaches, old coaches, that we grew up on are gone. So, it's going to be hard to, look at Syracuse basketball. And we'll see. I mean, I can't remember the new coach's name, but he should be good. And hopefully he can recruit better players into his program. Like I mentioned before, Patrick Ewing got the zig and the boot, and he's gone. So, Georgetown, when they were great, I grew up on my man Reggie Williams and David Wingate, Lonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing, all those guys. Those were my guys. I mean, oh man. Allen Iverson, Iverson was out there, so, like I said, it's just, I miss, it's not cool when, Syracuse and Georgetown and, some other programs are down, All right, I do want to mention this about, something about college basketball. The city of Philadelphia will not have a representative in the NCAA tournament. This is the first time in a long time. So the teams like Temple, Villanova, St. Joe's, Drexel, all those, Penn, all those, the Big Five teams aren't going to be in there. It's kind of hard because, I always, I knock Philadelphia all the time. And, Guru is always in a constant battle with Philadelphia. But, like I said, college basketball is good when you got Villanova and Temple and, St. Joe's and all those teams. And that's the thing. All these, it's really cool when you see some of these teams that make it in there. You never, Kentucky might or might not make the tournament, like the Blue Bloods. Kentucky, North Carolina might not make it. Well, Duke is going to make it. Duke is blue blood. Arizona is going to make it. They're blue blood. UCLA, Michigan State, hopefully Izzo isn't crying this year to try to push this team into the to the tournament or whatever. But like I said, it's just so unique, so wild to see some of these teams that are not going to be in the tournament. All right, let's move on. I do want to mention a basketball note. Pau Gasol got his jersey retired this week. His number 16 now will hang in the rafters of the Crypto Palace or whatever the hell it's called. They changed these names. I call it the Staples Center. The Staples Center for the Lakers. This is Staples Center. I don't go by these newfangled nicknames or whatever. I'm kind of old school, but some of these things just leave it alone. It's called the crypto something, some odd, all these newfangled names. I call it the freaking what? I call it the Staples Center. Just like Marquette. Marquette used to be the Marquette Warriors. Now they're the Marquette Eagles. I'm calling them the Marquette Warriors. That's what I remember when Al McGuire won. When they won the championship years ago. I think it was back in '76 or something like that. They were called the Marquette Warriors, and not the Eagles. All right. Anyway, Tuesday night, Jersey retirement for Pau Gasol, and Pau Gasol was one of the architects of that championship years when Kobe needed somebody. He basically got him, and they won, multiple championships or so. But his number 16 now will hang right next to Kobe's, and it was an emotional night because Vanessa Bryant was there, and he loved Kobe. Kobe loved him too, and that was one of the things that I really love about the Lakers. The Lakers are always family, no matter what. His brother was there. He was a former Laker too, so it was just a great time to see Marc Gasol, and his kids were there, and like I mentioned before, Vanessa Bryant was there, and it was a very emotional night. I love Pau Gasol and what he did. Great player, and always will be a Laker Hall of Famer to me. And he should be in the NBA Hall of Fame. He probably will go in there as well. All right. Other news and notes, like I did mention before, the Bears traded the number 1 pick to the Carolina Panthers. They traded him for the 1st and 61st, or the 9th, which is the first round pick, the 61st pick in this year's draft. In 2024, they get a first rounder. 2025, they get a second rounder. And they all also get DJ Moore. So now, if you looking at Justin Fields, he has a little bit of weapons now with DJ Moore and a couple weapons they had, Cole Kmet. The Bears should be a little bit better this year. I don't know why, but I think that why did the Panthers trade DJ Moore, and they're going to bring in a rookie quarterback? I guess they're going to pick a rookie quarterback, Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. Anthony Richardson, his stock went up because of the stuff that he did at the combine. But the combine doesn't really mean anything. I got a chance to listen to his interview a couple days ago. He's very impressive, but leadership. I think that's one of the things that he's going to have to work on, his leadership skills. He should be a good player. Will Levis, never know who. But anyway, they trade to get the number 1 pick to pick a quarterback. And now they got nobody to throw it to. Nobody. This is one of the things that the Panthers, I still think that the Panthers are just so kind of like ass backwards in doing things. You pick up a quarterback, a rookie quarterback, which you're going to take in the first pick. But you got nobody to throw it to. Doesn't really make too much sense, does it? Whatever. We'll see what the Panthers do. All right, we did mention that the Dolphins did pick up the 5th-year option on Tua. Now, hopefully, Tua will be able to play, and it might be, it just really scares me every time I see Tua get, thrown down or so, because you never know what's going to happen to him. Hopefully that he'll be all right. But anyway, let's see. basically that's it for news and notes. But I definitely wanted to mention that, Syracuse basketball, that was kind of a shock this week when I heard that Jim Boeheim was out. It's kind of weird because, I watched the end of that game. Like I said, guy hit a Syracuse, Wake Forest guy hit a three-pointer with .02 seconds left to beat Syracuse and, end of Boeheim. All right, I do want to mention police blotter. Some of these people, I'll tell you. Sean Kemp got in trouble. He got in trouble, and I have to get more details on it. But anyway, it seems like he was in a drive-by or something like that. I have to find out more about it because, like I said, I just don't want to speculate. And when I do this police blotter thing, I don't want to speculate on a lot of things, and I don't want to accuse people of doing things that are not in the, within the reaches and the, in the parameters of what's going on. I just hate to speculate some of these things. But like I said, I want to make sure that I'm right on these things. And like I said, we don't know none of these people. We don't. But the thing about it is that, some of these athletes have to learn to, kind of chill. I understand, I think it was a couple weeks ago I was telling you a story about Charles Barkley. I met Charles Barkley and he's the nicest guy. But I asked him personally, I said, hey, why does everybody think that they can challenge you? He said, because people are dumb. And I believe him. Like I told him, I said, hey, I respect you because, you're a professional basketball player that I looked up to and I like, and I can't, I really, have that respect for you. It just goes all the way back to the sense of when you buy a ticket, it doesn't give you the right to throw things. And I seen this last night when UCLA and Arizona was playing. Some idiot threw a water bottle onto the court right after the Arizona guy made the three-pointer or so to tie the game or take the lead. It's just plain stupidity. Plain stupidity on, some of you guys' part. Athletes and actors and actresses or whatever or so should be held into the highest regards. But the thing about it is that they should have the common sense, the decency, and the know-how to not really escalate some of these things that are going on. What I'm trying to say is this. If I was a celebrity, I know that I would not, I would have to do the right thing. Be respectful to the public. Don't think that I'm above the law. And do what I'm supposed to do. Because you never know. There's kids, there's people that look up to you and, care about you and whatever. But the thing about it is that staying out of trouble and being on the right side of the law. That's what I'm trying to say. And what I'm saying is that, some athletes and celebrities like the controversy, like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is talking again, opening his big mouth, and I just can't. I can't deal with this dude, man. This dude is ridiculous. Excuse me, I was going to say another word, but anyway, the guy's ridiculous, and he's turned into the new Antonio Brown. And every time Antonio Brown does something now, I ignore because I got better things to do in life to listen to someone ramble on about if he's okay or, what he does like or doesn't like or how they look at him or how, hey, we know you got your backwards thoughts on being an anti-Semite or whatever. And we know that you are a narcissistical lunatic. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna move on. I'm sorry that Kevin Durant got hurt, and but hey, the Nets got those draft picks, so from multiple teams, Phoenix, and they got draft picks from Dallas, where that crazy man is now. So, Mikal Bridges look good, don't he? I'm still thinking, like I said, the Nets are slipping, but I look at it this way. Playoffs are starting. Lakers are starting to come around too, and Lakers look kind of good. So, anyway, I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to go to halftime, and I'm going to be back. I'm going to give you my poo-poo of the week. Then I'm going to give you my conversation with my man Dave May Jr. And you guys hang tight. This is the Guru Talking Sports Podcast, and our voice actress lady is coming in here, and she should be able to send us into our halftime. We'll be right back right after this. This is the Guru. Stick with us. Episode 157 of the podcast. Hang tight.
You're listening to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast. This is episode 157, and on the line right now, I have my good friend, Mr. Dave May Jr., the most tenured guest on this podcast. I really appreciate you. Hey, Dave, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate your time always. And what I wanted to ask you was basically, you're inside the game, and baseball season is the spring training is already on and popping and everything. So I wanted to ask you, what is, for the general fan like myself and people out there that's not at spring training right now, what do you think one of the biggest rule changes are?
So obviously the biggest one that everybody will notice immediately is the pace of play, the change in the pace of play. Just ways that were created to speed up the game, make it a little bit more watchable for the average fan. It's something that's been in use in the minor leagues for the last couple of years, and it's worked, to significantly shorten the time period and keep the interest level, and it hasn't really hurt the game at the minor league level. So it's going to be really, and I've been in spring training here for just over a week and a half, and the games have gone really well, really quickly, and for somebody doing this and with a lot of different substitutions, it really is nice to just get to watch the players watch them play the game as quickly as possible. That's cool.
Now I want to ask you, how's the weather down in Florida? I mean, we're still up here on the East Coast, and it's been like up and down, freezing cold, wind blowing all the time. How's it down there?
I've been lucky. There hasn't been a day of rain. It's been in the 80s every day. So
my God.
It's summertime.
I hear you, man. I appreciate it. Now, the pace of play, like you said, the pace of play is pretty good. From what I've seen, I've only watched maybe 2 or 3 ball games. I have I'm gonna basically get the MLB package so I can watch every team, especially our Blue Jays. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on our Blue Jays. But I'm a Blue Jay fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. But Now I wanted to ask you the bases. The bases they say are a little bit bigger. Now what is your opinion on how do what do you see on the bases?
So the difference that you'll notice, maybe even the average fan won't notice, is that the bases are 4.5 inches bigger, and they're 4.5 inches bigger to the inside of the baseline.
Okay.
What that does is it works to sort of protect the players. It keeps the first baseman away from his feet away from the base run, from the hitter as he's running down the baseline. It also will extend and allow the potential base stealer down first base runner. It allows him that much more difference and sometimes an inch or two is the difference between a stolen base and not. And so there's that part of it is the protection, and another part is it's just a slight way to increase the base stealing in the game. And also, when you have a bigger bag as an infielder, particularly in the middle, what happens is give you a little bit more angles.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more protection. That you can work around the bag in order to get away from contact. So that's seems to me it just makes sense on that aspect. So it's not noticeable for the normal fan, probably.
Yeah. Now I wanted to ask you: do you think there'll be more double plays? And will that basically, with a bigger base, will if the guy's sliding in from first base, that'll give the fielder a little bit more, there won't be more collisions or anything like that.
Well, the thing is, so this goes into another part of the thing that we're going to talk about is the defensive shifts.
Yeah.
I think the defensive shifts took some of the double plays out of the game just because of the way that you're aligned. I have 3 guys on one side, and if you had that, you have to have the third baseman or a shortstop that would have to get over and cover, and it wasn't a natural pivot, that you're going to be able to make at second base. So I think that allows you'll see a little bit. I've been seeing different things, but I see that the teams that are, all these guys are athletic now, but the athleticism, and I think you will see better defenders in the middle. You're gonna have struggles.
I wanted to tell you that really appreciate it. We're talking. We are here talking with my man Dave May Jr. He's down in Florida, scout for the Toronto Blue Jays. And I wanted to tell you that that was one of the things that I noticed that, going back to a little bit of the stolen bases will probably go up a little bit. And like you said, a lot more defenders will have to be a little bit more, versatile to where they have to, be able, like you said, pivot and, make those double plays. Now, I wanted to, before I ask you about the shift, I wanted to say that last week I actually got a chance to watch the World Series game between the Orioles and the Cincinnati Reds in 1970. And it was a pretty, it was the one where the Orioles beat them in Game 5. Now I did see. Now it was kind of weird because, like I said, this is 1970. There's no DH. There's no, all the things about the game has changed. But I did see the shift in there. And I was like, wait a minute. Back in 70, they actually did the shift? So, I'm going to ask you about the shift. Now, how is that going to affect the game right now as we look at it coming up?
I've been watching, there's teams that are experimenting with different ways to counteract the the lack of ability to shift. So the thing is that you have to have two. You have to have two fielders on each side of the diamond. And so what has happened? So and the other part of it is that all the infielders must be on the dirt. They can't. There's no longer can they be in the outfield or on the grass. So they have to be in there.
Yeah.
What has happened is like I've been watching some teams. They're experimenting with like basically putting like a man in motion, and as the pitch goes to the hitter, they're shifting. Like that shortstop or that second baseman is actually in motion and is running to the other side, and to try to counteract it. But I think that the thing is now that you're going to have your middle infielders definitely have a lot of range. You have to have the range is going to be exposed if the lack of range is going to be exposed if not, and that could affect you against certain teams. Now, as far as the hitters, you probably see more guys who pull the ball and hit the ball hard. It's probably positively going to affect it. There's a trade-off, though. They're going to have to make contact.
Yeah.
So it's not automatic that a pull hitter, his average is going to go up. If he's a strikeout, he's got like Joey Gallo. There's a lot of talk of his average going up, but look at how many times he strikes out. It's a lot. I mean, it's not about making contact as well. Now, if you're like a hard contact type who pulls the ball and it just seems to run into some luck, bad luck against gets the ball to the shift a lot. And I'm thinking guys like Brandon Lowe, Tampa Bay, those guys I would pick and say, hey, that player he's going to probably trend up towards the batting average.
Okay. All right. Now, who else are you going to will improve in their batting average? You got like Mookie Betts or maybe Bryce Harper or maybe like Trout. Some of the superstar players. Who do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think like Mookie Betts is a good one to pick up. It's just guys. So you basically, if you look at the hard hit percentage and you look at that, you look at the ability to make contact and the pull and how many times they hit to the pull side. Those generally are the guys that are going to benefit. You have to be a combination of the hard hit and the contact and the pull. But yeah, like a Mookie Betts definitely would be a guy that he's probably 66% of the time he's pulled. So so that kind of guy hits the ball over 100 mile an hour a lot. Vlad with us, he will use the whole field, but Vlad I think will trend up. He was shifted a lot. I think Aaron Judge is another that will benefit on the batting average side.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. It's going to be a little bit more action, and I think that's what everybody wants to see, a little bit more action. And I've been listening to a lot of different talk shows and people saying that if you go to maybe the restroom or try to go to concession stand, you might miss 2 or 3 innings, or maybe miss a couple of innings. But see, that's the thing. You got to make sure that you get there. Just like I'm serious. Just like people in LA. They used to come to the game like real late, maybe it's 3rd or 4th inning. They might be getting into the 6th inning when they get there. You never know.
Nobody was complaining when Greg Maddux was pitching in 2 hours.
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. I like Greg Maddux. I thought he was like a craftsman at what he did. But see, that's the thing. A lot of people, complain about the pace of play. It didn't bother me. But like I said, I'm, one of those guys that are kind of like a purist. I don't mind the pitch clock. I don't mind the way the game is. And I'm not going to, say, well, oh, no, it should be played. You should go, leave it up. No. Every sport has had changes for the good of the sport. And baseball is just the last one to do it. So,
Here's the thing, and so I would say to the baseball purists is that big part of the reason that there's that slow pace is because in between innings you have commercials.
Yeah.
And so now what has happened, and it's going to cost baseball money, is that there's going to be there's 2 minutes in between innings now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to get their commercials in 2 minutes. And so, like, here's a couple of the rules. I'm just like looking at them right now.
Okay.
So there is 2 minutes between the innings. Between when the next pitcher has to be ready. In between batters, it's 30 seconds. So that limits a lot of that walk-up music and stuff like that takes time. When a pitcher has no one on base, he has to throw a pitch within 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
When he has a runner off, he has to throw it within 20 seconds. The batter has to be, if they don't, then that's the ball. Those are balls.
Yeah.
If the batter has to be ready at 8 seconds or at the strike. The batter only gets one timeout during an at bat to step out. You only get that one time for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then and if not, then that's a strike. And so yeah, so I've been watching. When a hitter takes that time out, I think Max Scherzer did it the other night, where all of a sudden there was rapid fire. Because the guy he couldn't get. When the pitcher's ready, the pitcher's ready. Now at that point. And so now, like a guy like Max Scherzer, he might be thinking 3 bases ahead. So it's like, give me the ball back, I'm going. Give me the ball, and I'm going. And that's kind of how it was. And then so that there's going to be some adjustments that kind of need to be made to that rule, but definitely it's to the benefit of the guys who pitch to work quickly, and that really think ahead. But if and I think it benefits the pitcher. I don't think as a hitter you want to think about what that guy just threw to you, the location, what's coming next.
Yeah.
And that's because you're constantly making adjustments. If you don't have time to think about it, then you might swing it back.
I wouldn't been able to play in this era if I was a baseball player because I have a hard time thinking about what I'm going to do maybe 10 minutes from now or whatever. But I'm looking at some of the guys that used to play the game and used to have like routines and all like that, like Big Poppy. I hate to say it, but he would probably be really upset with this rule change, huh? You think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If I go back a little bit further, maybe Willie Stargell. Stargell used to have this really cool wind-up, and I used to try to imitate that all the time. Remember the wind-up that he had? It would be hard for a lot of players, but see, that's the thing. The game, they want the game to progress, and they want the game to move in a faster pace. So like you said, hey, the hitters have to be on their P's and Q's to where, they have to, think about it and get up there and try to swing at it. How would you would have fared if you were in the game now?
I wanted the opportunity. It's different because I look at the game differently now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not playing, the game is much slower for me. Like looking at it off the field. So yeah, and you learn across and like now I get it. Now I got what the guy's trying to do.
Yeah.
So, but I would think at that age, it would have been more difficult, and I think I would have been more aggressive as a hitter.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good thing. But I think I wouldn't. I think that it would have been more difficult to be an offensive player. I think as a fielder, I love it.
Yeah,
because I'm ready. Because I'm ready to go. I don't have to stand around. I'm on my toes. I can anticipate I'm ready to go. That's what you want. You hate when somebody works slow, and then that kind of takes you out of your rhythm.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last thing I wanted to ask you about, I thought one of the biggest changes in the new rule changes is the schedule. And the schedule, you're gonna see any superstar you want to see. So, like, I'm looking at some baseball tickets tickets for the Orioles, and I see Pittsburgh on the schedule. I see the Dodgers on the schedule coming into Baltimore. That's going to be very good for me, because if I wanted to go, we live in the area right between Baltimore and Philadelphia, so we can see basically everybody, whoever we want. But teams like the Angels coming into Philadelphia to play, that's going to be something new, because it's going to be every single year. And let's say like the Dodgers, the Orioles are going to be playing the Padres in Baltimore. So you may have that Manny Machado reunion again. So how do you feel about the schedule change?
I think it's so. There's one side of me that says, like, the way that I grew up, there was like a mystery to seeing those teams. When my dad was playing, it was, and even my brother, it was that you never saw those teams, and it was like only an All-Star game in the World Series. Yeah. And there was something, like mysterious and something good about it. And then with the, when we started to have interleague play, then that kind of took it away. Now, as somebody who's looking at the competition, the competitive aspect of it, I like it because I feel like we play in probably the toughest league in the division in baseball. American League East. Yeah, and so year in, year out, it's going to be tough. And we had like four teams last year that were like vying for the playoffs, and that's not the usual. Then on the other hand, you had Cleveland, who was the only team within their division to have a winning record against the 500 teams or better. Yeah. I mean, and they only played like 40 games against teams that played over 500, and they were able to stay in their division. Yeah. And so that takes that out of it, so you're really getting more of an opportunity for the better teams to rise to the top, because now with the balanced schedule, you're going to really get an opportunity to find out. Like, you're not going to be able to hide and beat up on. Yeah, beat up on bad teams. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to beat up on Cincinnati's, Pittsburgh's of the world. Yeah. Still get into the playoffs. Yeah, and Oakland's. Yeah, I agree. Well, see, that's the thing. Like I was saying with the Orioles, they're going to have to face. Yeah, they're going to face St. Louis. They're going to face the Dodgers, the Padres, the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies. All these teams that are really, really good. And they were over 500 last year, which was good. But the thing is that now, you go, like you said, you can't hide. You can't hide from it. I was going to say, like in all fairness to them, they played the same schedule we did. They played well, and they played the same. Because it was, there used to be interdivisional matchups like we would see. I think the last year we played the National League Central. Yeah. So yeah, we played them, and so that was, and they played the National League Central as well. But now we're just going to get like more of a, like I'm not really like picking on them. I'm picking on like say Cleveland or Minnesota. They don't get to play Detroit. Yeah. 21 times. It's not going to happen anymore. So, that's the thing. It's like, so now everybody has to rate the play. Yeah, I know. Every series is important. Whether whoever you play, you got. If you go into Cincinnati, you got to have that. You got to sweep that. Because you've got to do it. That's the difference between you getting playoffs.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the fun. You ain't got to worry about, we can talk about Cleveland, how bad, and Minnesota, because, like I said, there's a Toronto house here. So, we're all good. All right. All right, well, Dave, man, I really appreciate it. I wanted to ask you a couple things, a little bit. I had, like the Oscars are tomorrow. I watched this movie, and, it was one of the worst movies, but it's actually nominated for the best. It's called Everything, Everywhere, Anyhow. Man, that was the weirdest movie I ever seen in my life. Did you see it?
My wife is like, she really wants me to watch that movie. She loves it. I haven't seen it. But yeah, I'm definitely like, it's something I will see for pretty soon.
Well, hold off as much as you can,
Okay.
That was weird. Now I gotta see Tar. And I'm, probably gonna watch that later on. Tar, and then I was gonna go watch The Whale, but The Whale I'm not gonna rent it. I'm not gonna rent it. So I'm just trying to find, a couple of them. Do you have a pick for best actress or best actor or anything? Or do you?
I haven't been following it, so I would have to, so I would like, if I pulled something out, I haven't really watched too many movies of late. At least not regular.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I know that, like you said, you're a sports guy, just like me. Now, I want to ask you, who do you think the Raiders are going to get for a quarterback?
Unfortunately, well, I just think, based on where they were, I think it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah. Just based on past history, just based on, I think, where they are. I think you take Garoppolo. I think you keep Stidham as your back. That's the way. With Carr, they just didn't want to lock him long term. Yeah. So, it is. And I think my pick would say just Garoppolo based because they know the coaches.
McDaniels knows him really well, and like I said, man, our Raiders, they got to do something. We got to do something. I know. If I had any, if I could play, I'd go out there and run around on defense at least, try to help them out. I know I'm not that good, but But, like I said, my man Dave May Jr., I really appreciate you. And, anytime you're always welcome here. You're the most tender guest of mine. And you're a baseball insider. I appreciate you. I love you, my brother. Appreciate you. And, like I said, enjoy the weather down there. And while we're still getting hammered up here, they said it's supposed to rain today, but it didn't rain. I don't know. They say rain next couple of days or whatever, but just stay down there, man. You like you said, it's summertime. For you guys.
It's nice. It's nice. You get it about a month.
Yeah, you do. Like I said, man, I really appreciate this, and it's this week has been crazy in sports. So it's like I'm trying to get everything in. I'm talking about unfortunately I have to talk about Kyrie Irving, the Nets, and the Knicks, and all these other teams. But like I said, when it comes to baseball season, we'll definitely I really appreciate your input, and I value it very much. Thank you thank you always. All right, we're gonna wrapping it up with Dave May Jr. I'm gonna be back in a few minutes, and like I said, appreciate you, Dave. You take care of yourself, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks. It's good to be.
All right, take care. Thank you. All right, guys, welcome back to the Green Talking Sports Podcast.
Okay, we're back live, and first of all, I want to apologize for the audio. When I took this yesterday, I I had to record this because me and him, we had a sit-down conversation over the phone, and I was using one of my phones to record him, and like I said, it was just more or less a lot of static, a lot of feedback, and I really apologize for, ruining that interview. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that you guys got out of it is that, like I said, he's down in Florida right now. He was about ready to go see the New York Mets and the Washington Nationals play. And like I said, him being a scout for the Toronto Blue Jays, he gets to see a lot of these things. He read off all the new changes, and his thoughts were very on point with everything that we're basically going to see this year in the game. Like I said, I really apologize for the audio, and believe me, it will never happen again, because what I'm going to do is probably have him on Zoom or so, and it was just very, very. I apologize. It was my fault, and like I said, I will own up to the fault of recording and then not having a steady phone line that was basically with our conversation. I apologize for that. And like I said, he made some very, very good points. We talked about the shift. We talked about the pitch clock. We talked about the one of the things that I did get out of that was he said that, everybody will be on the grass, but when the pitch is being thrown, they will have like a man in motion, like in football. Now that's going to be different for the baseball fan or the fans out there to see, because a man in motion is more or less like, hey, he's getting ready to throw this pitch, and you might see him running from either right to left or left to right to try to counter where this batter is going to be hitting at. So I really appreciate that insight, and that's something I haven't seen in all the minor league or the spring training games I've watched so far. Like I said, I really appreciate his time, and like I said, he's one of the most tenured. He's basically has the most appearances on this podcast, more than Caden Guru and more than Dante Guru. But anytime I ask Dante Guru to come on, he's on. Caden Guru is a different story. But anyway, we love both of them. And we really appreciate you, Dave. And like I said, I'm going to have him back probably after a couple weeks, or maybe a week after the season starts. And we're going to go through what he sees as basically divisions. We're going to go through the divisions and have like our annual baseball talk. And like I said, I just wanted to get a little bit of an insight of what was going on with the rule changes that he's seen while he's down in Florida right now. And some of the things, like I said, mentioned were very, very good thoughts and good things that we've seen, but I apologize for the audio. Okay, with that, I'm going to go to the poo-poo of the week. Poo-poo of the week is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods had another run-in, and this time it was with a young lady that he was living with or so, and from what I heard, that he agreed with this woman for a 11-year stay in one of his apartments or something like that. Next thing you know, the woman comes in. Tiger told the lady that she was going on a trip, pack his stuff, go to the airport, get the flight. When there was no flight there, she comes back. Tiger Woods throws her stuff out in the front yard or whatever, and this is a mess. And like I said, these are some of the. Like I said, you can't make up some of these things, and some of these people you just don't know. And Tiger Woods should know better with all the stuff that he's been going through. He should know better. Come on now. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up with a little bit of an Oscar talk. And like I said, I mentioned before that tonight is the Oscars. And I'm going to give you my opinion on who I think is going to win. Best Picture, it sure ain't everything everywhere at once, or Tar. It's either going to be, I like Top Gun Maverick or Elvis. I did see those two. I didn't see the other movies in there. I only got a chance to see 4 out of the 10. I heard Avatar: The Way of Water was pretty good. All Quiet on the Western Front was pretty good. The Banshees was pretty okay. The Fabelmans was good. Triangle of Sadness and Women Talking. I haven't seen those. All right, so I'm gonna go with probably Elvis or Top Gun Maverick. Best Actress in the Leading Role, I did like Cate Blanchett in Tar, and I like Michelle Yeoh in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I think Michelle Yeoh is going to win the Oscar for Best Actress. Best Actor, you got Gerard Butler. I was going to say that. Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell, Brandon Fraser, Paul Mescal, and Bill Knightley. I think that I would go with Brandon Fraser for The Whale. I haven't seen this, but from what I heard, that his role in that was very good, because he do put on like maybe some weight to play the role. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Judd Hirsch. I think it's his time. I think I like Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans. It's going to be his time. I think he's going to win it. Also, the Ke Huy Quan, Everything Everywhere at Once was okay. The Best Actress in Supporting Role, I'm probably going to go with Angela Bassett, but then again, Jamie Lee Curtis is up there, and well, they got a lot of people nominated from this Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know why, but I think Angela Bassett might take it. Best Director, you can't go wrong with Steven Spielberg. I was going to say Martin Scorsese, but he's not in it. I think you got to go with Steven Spielberg. Okay, that was my Oscar rundown, and hopefully we can see what's going on with the Oscars. And lastly, I want to say we have to say goodbye to actor Tom Sizemore. He played in Heat. He played in Saving Private Ryan. Like I said, I watched Heat last week, and one of my favorite roles, one of my favorite actors in that movie was Tom Sizemore. Really, really good. I really like him. I thought he was a really good guy. He was only 61. This is kind of ironic. Yesterday we had the passing of Bud Grant, who was the coach of the Minnesota Vikings, who took the Minnesota Vikings to 4 Super Bowls. And the 4 Super Bowls, those are the only Super Bowls that the Vikings have played in, and they've lost all 4. But Bud Grant was the only coach that took the Vikings to the Super Bowl. And one of the Super Bowl losses he had was against the Kansas City Chiefs. And we're sad to say that the passing of Otis Taylor, the wideout, number 89, he passed away the other day at the age of 80. And Otis Taylor was I always remember him. And one of my favorite old school receivers, I think that he should have been in the Hall of Fame. He basically was one of the greats. And like I said, I can always remember him high stepping into the end zone after he caught the final touchdown from Lynn Dawson, and that was something else. That was a great. I'm talking great Super Bowl. We had Hank Stram, doing all the talking, matriculate the ball downfield, and 65 toss power trap, when he's like talking to the officials and everything. Rest in peace to all those guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. We appreciate you listening, and sorry once again. I am very, very sorry for the audio of our conversation with Dave May Jr., but I apologize to him, and I'm going to make it up to where, like I said, we're going to have a sit-down conversation, and we'll do it over Zoom. And, like I said, I didn't want to hold him up. His time is valuable because he's down in spring training down in Florida. But I really appreciate the opportunity talking with him yesterday. We'll make up for everything. Definitely make up for everything. So, you guys remember to catch us on YouTube at The Guru Talkin. Actually, our YouTube channel is Guru of Sports Show. Let's get the Hey song in here so we can wrap it up. All right. Hey song will be playing in a few seconds. But I want to tell you guys that it's been a really good episode. Only if I would have had the audio played a little bit better. Definitely would have made a big difference. You guys definitely stick with us because, like I said, we definitely got some stuff going on. Matter of fact, next week is going to be really, really crazy because then you'll have the tournament starting, and everything is it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be really, really crazy. I'm trying to get this Hey song together, but anyway, let's get it together. Here we go. All right, we finally got the Hey song together. I know I'm here by myself. Guru's always messing up, but I'll make up for it. Facebook is Guru's Daily Shorts. IG is Guru Talking Sports _podcast. Hit me up on Gmail, Guru's Daily Shorts at gmail.com. Twitter, MACGTS _BB39. Big props and salutations to Miss Mary Mack, the Mary Mack Show on Grief. Remember, her website is www.marymack.info. My man Jeff Duarte, Cali Sports News. My cousin Curtis and his grandson Jarrett at the Young GM. My baseball insider, Mr. Dave May Jr., and once again I apologize for the bad audio. That was on my part. My hip-hop insider, Mr. Danny Rivera. Appreciate you. Katie Guru, executive producer and board op, who's never here. Ray Guru, musical technical engineer. Dante Guru, backup co-host and show host. Cousin Aaron, we always appreciate you looking down on us. His chair is sitting here right next to us. Our motto is saying this has been a Black Goat production from Black Goat Sports, copyright 2023, all rights reserved. We don't hate, we congratulate, we always create, and we don't steal from anyone. Use the hashtag Big Props and the hashtag Guru Talking Sports Podcast. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. Like I said, after we finish the Hey song, there will be a moment of silence for This week, Bud Grant has Tom Sizemore and Otis Taylor, and always for Cousin Aaron. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your sports weekend. Get out there and enjoy the rest of that long sunlight now. It's going to be like really light outside until about 7:30 or so. And then remember to watch the Oscars tonight. I'm not going to wear a tuxedo. I'm going to watch the Oscars a little bit. And then, like I said, I got to go to bed because I got to get up early tomorrow. You guys take it easy. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon. The Guru, we'll see you real soon. You guys take care of yourself. Hey, song is getting ready to end, and then there will be a moment of silence.